Hello everybody and welcome to Moon Moth. And it's quite a bright morning. It's been trying to spit with rain, with the finest of rain, but it's still quite warm today. And I thought I'd just point out, no matter where you go, there's always little piles of stones up here. And today we're just going to have a gentle wander around and see what's different. But I don't know if you've noticed from this angle, but my hand looks really strange. I've got really short arms, look at them. Sorry, I'm being really silly. Right, sensible, this is a sensible me. Hello everybody, and welcome to Moon Moth. It's a bright Sunday morning, and there's a little bit of gentle rain, and it's still warm. And I wanted to point out this here. We've got rock piles everywhere here. So just have a gentle meander through Moon Moth and see what's new, what's happening. There is something that I wanted to point out and want to show you. And that is this. Remember these totems I showed you the other week? Well, look. I don't believe that that has fallen down by itself. It could have been pushed down by an animal, trying to rub its back or something on it. Just got this horrible feeling it's human handiwork. There are none of the people's feet around here on the ground. So they were of significance to the people in that they used them for navigational purposes as a rough guide. And there's one here, and there's one about 200 meters to my right. So humans have had to come in here by the looks of it and push it down. This is the thing I really don't understand. Just leave things alone. Crazy. Anyway. Good morning everybody. I hope you're well. Now I believe that Daceagaia is going to be my help today. And I understand his partner, Dasia. So that's very, very generous of them. May we come in? Myself and several hundred people in the camera. Thank you. And first thing I notice, and that's just a welcome. Daceagaia was saying that's just a welcome to point out. Just to point out that this is their territory, of course. Nameplate on the door, that's all it is. Now I know I show you a lot of tree breaks and glyphs, and you probably think, why? What's the point of all of those? They are hugely important to the families. Without those, they don't have a communication. Look at the path that's laid through here. Clearly a path here. Mushrooms or fungi. I only know certain types of fungi, so in truth I wouldn't touch them unless I really had my little book with me. This is a different path. I've not really wended my way up this way. How silent it is. So if nothing else, I think that this sort of wandering through a forest on a regular basis, you really get to understand that there is so much more going on than we give credit for. Forests are unbelievably important, and we just don't understand it. It's not in our gift to understand. But without forests, I think energy, somebody's standing there, the energy can't be diverted and used and acquired. And what I think is key is that we, obviously as yet, we can't attribute all the things that the families, the forest families, the elementals do with the trees that keep everything balanced. We just think because of our physical presence in our own world that is it. But I think it's so much more. I was stopping at that point because it felt like something was coming from this direction. Felt like, I want to say footsteps, but it's more than that. It's just like you can feel energy coming closer. And what is... It's a huge lump of... looks like chicken fungi. Good God. That is really weird stuff, isn't it? Isn't that weird? I mean, it's even got a home of its own. It looks like a pie. It's not a pie I would touch. I think I would go near that. Very beautiful. Beautiful, bright colour. So weather-wise, things are about to change. I am still in t-shirt at the moment, but I think probably this evening the weather is going to change and come from the north, which brings an Arctic blast for us. So we shall see. Why does this all look different? Again, it looks different. So I'm being told, remember the portals. Remember the round circle of trees. That creates energy. just looks different. So we have this here which suddenly appears to have appeared. I don't recall noticing this before. I've possibly been walking around with my eyes shut, that's a possibility. Look up onto the tree. My head height is just left there. And it could easily have just fallen if it came from that tree. But clearly it has not come from this tree. Oh dear. This is our tree. This is our tree area. One bag, 2 bags. All the bags, those bags are empty. Marshmallows still there, can't blame them for that. Crunchy bag, that's empty. If you remember, we left some roses for the ladies last week, so they're still here. Oh, look how they've come out. Look how they've blossomed. Oh, that's lovely. They've really blossomed. They're a bit dry, really. But in this part of the world, we don't like to ask for rain, because you know what happens. forgets to stop. Ah, that looks like a peanut butter jar. Over there. Let's have a zoom. Yeah, that's a peanut butter jar. Just going to go through these bags. We've got this one here, like a hole in the top here. There's no slit in it though, it's just a hole. Then this one who has got holes here. No, it hasn't, it's got a big slit right across it. That one has been a crunchy wrapper. There were 4 crunchies in that, and that's gone. Somebody likes crunchy, like me. So there's a slit across there. Another one here. Slit across there. This one's got, oh, it's got a slit over there. There we are. And these are quite tough bags, these. They're not usual cheapo plastic stuff. This one has got no opening in it at all. But the contents have gone, miraculously. This one has got little holes in it, and I think that's animals. But they don't like marshmallows, and who can blame them? Well, I've got some figs there, some lovely dried figs. Gorgeous and sweet. I tell you what, I like doing those with mascarpone. Grilling them, and then doing them with mascarpone. Not fattening at all. Some Brazil nuts, some pitted dates, I take all the stones and things out, some walnuts, and I thought as a little treat. Lots of treats here. So that's going to go on the tree. So we're going to start with these absolutely beautiful apples. These are Royal Gala apples. Soft and sweet, and mango, and some kiwi fruit. I thought I'd try them on kiwi, and I know they've got sort of a textured skin, but we'll see how they like them. They might not like the feel of the skin. Some more apples there. Oh, look, and another mango there. And then we've got the peanut butter and the incense sticks. That one's fallen over. Pop that up right. Now, I have to say, I know you'll think this is a bit weird, but I do thank the tree for allowing me to put the stuff here, for being the host. Before I put everything up, I usually say thank you to the tree as a host. And then we've got all the bags of stuff. The dates, the Brazil nuts, chocolate bars, chocolate. Who said chocolate? Yum. Some walnuts, and then the figs. And that's our tree done, folks. Isn't it amazing how long those roses have lasted? A whole week. And there's been very, very light drizzle quite frequently, but no major rain, and they're just the stalks put in the ground around Algeta's tree. Thought you'd like to see those. Now, while I was actually putting the stuff on the tree, there was a crow up in the tree right above me, watching what I was doing. That was quite interesting. And there's tiny little birds above me, like little tree creepers probably. That's what the little squeak is, they're tiny little things. The marbles. Sally's been playing. They hadn't moved from last week, so what I thought I would do was make this, which is just a sort of a noughts and crosses, isn't it? Now, I don't believe that they play games. I don't believe they see any point in playing games like this type of thing. But it'd be interesting to see if they want to do anything else with it. Just thought we'd leave it there. Alright folks, let's have an explore. Oh, now look at that. If that was directional from here, it suggests that there would be like a path going in that direction if you followed that. And it's saying come back this way, then head over here and that way. Now if I followed that instruction, come forward a little bit, don't know how far, not going to try and crackle my way through there. I don't often come in this area nowadays, used to. And then it was suggesting to walk back this way, which we'll do. This takes us round in a loop that we would normally come in by, but I am curious by this. It's laid here, but look how stripped the bark is on this. Completely stripped off. And this area, so we look at this again, then look at the trees around. It's a circle. It's a circle of trees I'm in. So all of these have been laid against here. So that one, then this one, 2, then this one, 3. And right up above my head, there's this one here. And then all of these sticks that fell completely naturally, like a mini teepee propped up against the base of the tree. That was a natural occurrence. That was exactly how they fell. In the breeze, they all fell in that teepee shape, of course. Oh, look at that. Nature's amazing, isn't it? Look at this sort of weird fungi stuff. I think that'll give you a bad tummy. So let's follow this sort of rough pattern down. So they always sort of suggest to me that when you've got a circle of trees, it might be a sitting area, but it also might be an area they can use as a temporary portal. That suggests to me that that is a sitting area. And they've been playing with sticks and things. So come on, let's follow this path. If we believe that is a path, and I do believe it is. So I've just asked the family, I've asked Daceagaia actually, what this is about. He said, observe it. Observe it. He said, you're on the right track. You're following the right track. Just observe it. And I think that's something that we must learn to do, is to use our eyes and observe things. Nothing actually has to happen. It's a bit like seeing beautiful scenery. You don't necessarily have to have wildebeest swooping from one side of the screen to another. Just the scenery alone is glorious. So I wonder if that's the case with this. My question to Daceagaia earlier today, and I was saying about how important the stars are, what is going on up in the sky astronomically, and to a lesser degree astrological, but they would term it in a different way and look at it in a very different way, but it's all related to the astronomical events that go up in the sky above us. That's great importance. So I said, is this thing with Elon Musk, the sky train, does that affect them when they are looking into the stars at night? Does that affect their view? Does it affect how they plot things out and plan the rotation? And here, the response was this, and I quote Daceagaia on this: astrophysical clutter, astrophysical trash. Not going to say any more than that. He's quite dismissive of it really, because it doesn't benefit anybody. It's a financial gain. Someone is going to make money out of it. It's profitable. It's a financial kind of win-win for all the investors within those projects. However, Daceagaia described everything that we see, like what we see here in the forests, managing energy and coordinating energy, the things that they need. And then he mentions all the things that go on in the night sky, the movement of the planets and the stars and the path that they take, and all the things that go on with the forces of nature within the earth, the movement of magnetic forces and plates and all of this stuff. And it's all hugely, hugely important. They all connect together. This is new. This is new. We did this last week. I hadn't seen it before. To better our communication. I don't think he's referring to his and my communication, other forms of communication. That could be travelling as well as conversation or connections. There's something over here shining. Look how far we've come, and that is one of last week's chocolate bars. This the wrapper. Could have been the week before, but I'll take that away. No footprints, that's what I'm looking for, no footprints. Don't see any footprints. So he described, Daceagaia described as all these things, ethereal things, heavenly things, celestial things, and the way energy works, all connected, it's all absolutely connected. So if you imagine the shutter of a camera, and it's got lots of little plates, some overlap, some underlap. And if you want more light in, you would open those up and they would recede and leave a much bigger hole, but they would be round the edge of the rim of the lens. And if you want less light in, you'd shut them down. And so you could clearly see the overlay and underlay of these. And that's how he's saying, well, all of these things all play a part and they all connect together. And things move this way and that way, and all in conjunction with each other. So everything is connected, absolutely everything. And we are more reliant on what goes on in the sky above us than we have any kind of connection for, any kind of idea. We are absolutely totally reliant on it, but we're unaware of it. We're totally reliant on the way energy works, and this is part of their part to play in the balance. So this is why you keep seeing things about balance. They are constantly balancing the energy of the planet in one way or another. And I suspect a lot of that might be to do with the things that we do to disrupt the energy. Probably unwittingly, we do it unwittingly as human beings. But I wonder if that's part of the reason. So when you look up at the night sky, and last night was a crystal clear night. I was out quite late last night. I was working miles away from where I live actually, but no matter, it was very late, but the sky was crystal clear, and it was one of those things when you look up and you just think, wow, the Milky Way, as we call it, was as clear as a bell. There was no light pollution where I was, and it was just stunning. But I was thinking, when I was looking through a particular app, I think it's called Skyview, and it plots all the planets, where they're at, and I was looking at those, and Mercury and Mars are very low on the horizon at that time of night, but I couldn't see Orion anywhere, so I was asking, where is Orion? And that's going to come into play soon. But Mars and Mercury, their position and where they are, it's one of those things that gives the people, it creates a nice environment for events that are coming, which was why they chose the time they did for Sobei and Abidam's union. It was fortuitous. And I feel very honoured to have been told about that. And for us to be let into their world, it's a great honour, a real great honour. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and haven't got a great deal of events this week, but there has been so much going on, there really has, within people's world, that I think they'll be grateful of a little break and a little return to some form of steady as you go type of stuff. Well, in the middle of this forest, I thought I would explain about the forest itself and the crop that it is. A lot of people have said to me, oh, it looks really strange, what an unusual forest. So I'm just going to scan this camera around and explain what it is, why it's different. If you were a farmer and you decided to plant a crop of barley, you are not going to put anything else in that field but barley. So this organisation is a national organisation. They're one of the wealthiest private organisations in the country, called the Forestry Commission. They operate here in Scotland, they operate in England, they operate in Wales, Northern Ireland, they operate all over the United Kingdom. And they're planting a crop. These are Scots pines, and there's all different types of pine, and it's a crop that is viable for the Forestry Commission, so it's one single crop. That's what they plant. So there'll be Douglas fir, there'll be Scots pine, there'll probably be spruce, there'll be larch, there'll all different types of crop, but they'll be in a separate area. So you'll find a square of larch, an area of Scots pine, of Douglas fir, all sorts of things. They wouldn't mix the crop, so you're not going to find oak trees unless a bird has seeded them, or birch trees. It's not a mixture of a crop. This is a financial product. And the Forestry Commission has been going for many, many years, managing vast tracts of forest. And while they have, behind their backs, without them even batting an eyelid, the people have been here and they've discovered this rich source of energy. And pine apparently gives them a very rich source of energy that they can utilise. And so they've used it for their own purposes, repurposed the energy in it. And that's why they like this for their communications, this area, pine trees. And it's about to throw it down with rain, I think. So you can see they're all pretty much the same tree, same type of tree. Now, in various other plantations, like I say, they may be all spruce, they may be all larch, but in this area they're all pine, Scots pine. So that's what it is a crop. It's not natural plantation, it has been planted by man. Some of these crops are 80-year-old and then they'll be harvested. Some will be 60-year-old and harvested. Now behind where the gifting tree area is, there is going to be a massive logging operation. Now it's about half a mile to a mile. So that will make a difference during the daytime. If I come midweek, I will probably have to stick to weekends because they will be stripping. They have this huge, great big plant that strips all the trees. It's savage to the trees, it really is. So I'll keep away from that area behind there. It's not going to disrupt them. I have spoken to the people about it. It's not going to disrupt them. They're not going to be doing this at night time, these operations, so the people will manage okay. But I guess at some stage where we do the gifting, that will be a target, and I hope it's not for a long time yet. And they're saying to me about 20 years, so that would tell me that a crop's about 60 years old. Some of it. I hope that explains to you the fact that there is non-diversity. It is a crop, and it is like your barley field. It's like your corn field. You wouldn't stick a whole lot of corn and barley and wheat and mix it all up. You'd keep all the corn in one field, all the wheat in another, and all the barley in another, and that's what the Forestry Commission do here.